Here I go again on my own. It's playoff season, the managers are feeling the heat, and with me busy tomorrow, as promised, we have a special Wednesday night edition of the Super League with two fixtures to get through. As you can see on the screen, we've got Dragons and Gazelles. They will meet in a one-hit wonder for the right to play the loser of Coastburn, which follows straight after. I can see Duggan's here, he's bricking it. I can see Dan's here. I can see Ian's here as well. I'm sure Dimble will be along shortly. Good evening to Steve, who I can see in the chat, and to Mike. And there's Dimble. Good evening, gents. Hope you're all well. So just to confirm the schedule again for the playoffs, we've got tonight the two fixtures, then we've got the semi-final, which will be Coast or Burn versus Dragons or Gazelles. That will be on Saturday night from around about 9:30 alongside the Shield semi-finals. And then we're looking at either a TBC for both finals, the Shield final and the playoff final, either Sunday at slightly earlier kickoff time or Tuesday night, which will also be transfer deadline day for those of us keeping to tabs with football in the other world. But enough of the intro. That's up sexy Shield indeed, Steve. Let's get on, shall we, with the first two fixtures tonight, Dragons against Gazelles. And we start with the home side. A quick refresh of the rules. So we've got golden goal, extra time, scores a level after 90 minutes, and then a penalty shootout if scores remain level. As is normal with the playoffs, 5 subs named, maximum 3 used. Still no Lee Bowyer available. Nesta suspended, as we saw from the last game, but that does mean that Roy Keane is back. Lucas Radebe partners Martin Keown in a very experienced but slightly aging centre-back partnership tonight in front of Vita Bayer, Leon Pio and Cafu remain as the wing-backs. Gerard in holding midfield with Foe and Keane collisionally dropped from the squad entirely, and then the ever-reliable front three of Ronaldinho and back supporting Constantinu. Um, let's just remind ourselves, Dragons have won both fixtures against Gazelles this season, 4-0 in the home game and a 1-0 win away from home. Yes, that's right. As for their opponents, they are without Samuel, who is injured. A raft of players face missing the semi-final if they get booked, but Gazelles go strong. Even Rye, even Ian as well, sees it in the chat. So the standard formation, Uliano's back. He comes back in for Bramble, Nedved and Valdo either side of Petrov. And as has become customary, Adilson supports Pizarro. Dida, Saviola, Arca, Vargas, and Oliveira make up the subs bench. Let's get some predictions in then. Who is qualifying? Remember, this is a one-hit match. Extra time and penalties if it's a draw. The winner of this faces the loser of Bern versus Coast, which follows straight after. It's Dragons with an early goal from Ronaldinho. 1-1 predicts Ryan, 2-1 says Steve. Nerves all round. Be tight, this one, says Ian. It's not looking that tight so far. Dragons taking that early lead. Neville golden goal. Yellow card for Uliano just before the break. And there's the half-time whistle. Not much to discuss there. Get it on slow. Might have to just so you've got something to read for the second half, Ryan, because not a lot happened there at all. No yellow cards for the home side, whose ratings range from Steven Gerrard, there on a 5, to Ronaldinho, Constantinu, and Leon Pio, all rating 8. This 2 legs. No, Ian. I've said 3 times already. One leg. Slow half, indeed. No conditional concerns really either for Duggan to worry about. As for Gazelles, it's all 5s and 6s. Distinctly average. Gazelles have chosen the wrong time, the wrong game to be so mediocre. Uliano picks up a yellow. I don't believe he was one of those in danger because he's just come back. Lack of action suits Dragons now. Absolutely does, Ryan. But yeah, not a lot to write home about. Duggan going as is, and Dan just wants longer arrows on the wing backs. Let's slow it down slightly for the second half. We'll slow it down even more if it becomes interesting. Big benefit being on the left on a one-legger. Absolutely. As we reach the hour mark, second half picking up where the first half, but that is crucial. Constantinu with his 15th of the season makes it 2-0 on the hour mark and does that all but do it now for Gazelles. 2 goals. They've offered next to nothing in this game so far, and now they need to score at least 2 to keep it going. Duggan going as is, still no yellow cards, still no worries conditionally. But what does Dan do? Would that have gone in without the click? I imagine so. Still got 3 5s there dotted amongst. 2 players managing to get up to a 7 rating, but it's just so poor for Gazelles. What does Dan do? Ian's saying well done to the 3 chipolatas. Petrov for Saviola. He's going for it. Petrov, Saviola. Saviola up front with Pizarro, Adilson in behind. Anything else at all for you, Dan? It's a change that Dan really has to make, has to try and affect the game. Happens every click on a home save, doesn't happen very often. Nor did it. That is it for Dan. Just that one change on the hour. Let's see if Gazelles can get themselves back into it. Constantinu. Ronaldinho hits the woodwork and it goes over the bar. Is Saviola, Mendieta, Adilson. Rugby gets booked. Free kick to Gazelles, which Mendieta lines up. Pizarro handles it. How frustrating for the away side. Kivu with an excellent tackle, but Cafu Constantinu. Barthez with the save. Save, lets him run free, but Kauka manages to clear. The Dragons enjoying this little bit extra space, and there's free, and that must see them into the semi-finals now. Dragons were concerned about the form of Gazelles. They need not be 3-0 up at home, and now looking for a fourth. It would take one hell of an effort here. Keane is booked. 15 minutes to play. Into the final 10. And Foe, arguably the most, the man that Duggan is least upset to see go off injured in this situation. Could you imagine if it was Keane going off, or Constantinu or Ronaldinho? But it is Foe who is dispensable within this team. Wouldn't Tudor please drops TM. And despite being 3-0 up with 10 minutes to play, Duggan is going defensive. It has been all Dragons, really. As we head into injury time, oh no, it's not a final whistle. They're looking for a fourth just to put some gloss on it now. Barthez with a save on the rebound, cleared, and there is the whistle. And congratulations to Dragons who qualify for the semi-final, restricting Gazelles to just one attempt on goal, which was in the first half. Very, very poor from them. Has the might of the occasion got to the players, got to the coaching staff? I suppose only they will really know. Dragons efficient in front of goal. This is not their most stellar performance, but they were dominant enough and ruthless enough to put pay to Gazelles when they fail to turn up. Leon Pio gets man of the match. He got 2 assists. And Cafu on the other side doing well as well. Constantinu rating a 9. Scoring with his only shot on goal. As did Keane and Gerard. As did Ronaldinho and Keane. But you have to say, as we click over to the other side, they may have been lackluster tonight, but full credit to Dan in his first season in the Super League, qualifying for the playoffs, going into it in some really good form. But it just wasn't to be this time around, unfortunately. A cracking first season at it, at the start of a very long tenure, I am sure. But that means that on Saturday night we will see Dragons, and they will travel to the losers of the next game between Burn and Coast. Gazelles get a little fine there. Everyone's been getting fines for poor discipline. I think that's now 10 of the 14 clubs. Dragons qualify for the final. They'll be out for 10 days. And here we go, the main event of the night. So let's just remind ourselves the rules in this one. Burn take a 2-1 lead after the home leg, of which it was a very, very even match. Sigalco ultimately proving the difference. Yellow cards aplenty dished out, which has meant changes for both sides. Away goals used if scores are level after 90 minutes. So Coast have got that crucial away goal. Golden goal extra time if it's level, still after 90, and then a penalty shootout. And the infamous Wayne Oldham in charge of this game. No Landry, no Montero, no Jeremy's for Burn tonight. Hippier and Tomazi, the ones on yellow card watch. That leaves the team looking like this. So it's Shotis, Lewis and Hippier, Carlos and contract wide with Tomazi in front of the back two, Fiore and Zanetti in midfield, Huel and Costa supporting Sigalco, Zawi, Rustu, Novotny, Chunsu and Tamudo on the bench. No matter, you could take the likes of Jeremy's and Montero out of this Burn side and they still look very, very strong indeed. Ian has been there, done that, got the t-shirt. He knows what it takes to get through a playoff campaign. He's got the star next to his name. But even still, I'm sure he stood there behind his chair feeling every bit as nervous as the other managers still involved in the playoffs. Hoffland suspended for Coast, sees them line up as such. Squad alteration. We saw that Petkov went off injured after half an hour and misses the entirety of the remainder of the playoff campaign. He has been replaced in the squad by Locatelli, who comes straight in onto the bench. So it's Toldo, Campbell, and Cordoba. Vogel moves over and partners Paredes. The familiar looking three of Balma, Ortega with Kerr Central, Larson and Henri supporting Anelka, Day, Bishkan, Locatelli, Agat, and Etu on the bench. So winners straight to the final. Losers face Dragons for the right to be in the final. Who claims which place? Let me know in the chat. And Coast have made it 2-2 on aggregate, which puts them ahead on away goals. Very early that. Yellow cards being dished out as well. Oh, and a big chance to go 2-0 up. Oh, how critical a miss could that be just before half time? Well, this is now very, very interesting. Coast, as it stands, going through on away goals. Much, much more interesting half of football than the first game we watched tonight. Coast dominating in terms of chances created, but they haven't made the most of them. And when they're playing against a team that has Sigalco, the Golden Boot winner, how much Dimble must be hoping they don't come back to rue that. Loser gets a second chance. Yes, Ian. Yes, as I've pointed out again 3 times, the loser will play Dragons for the right to play the final. Let's have a look at Coast, who have Balmer, Vogel, and Campbell all in the book. Let's just remind ourselves Campbell and Vogel will now be suspended for the next fixture, whether that is the final or the semi-final. Conditionally, no concerns. It wouldn't surprise me if Dimble keeps it as is. Sigalco will score here, says Ian. Apologies again, I want everything, so didn't pay much attention. Yes, but there's not pay much attention when you're winning stuff, Ian, and then there's just not paying much attention tonight. when I'm actually telling you. So, but there we go. No changes for Dimble confirmed. As for Burn, they're not out of this by a long way. They do need to improve because as it stands, they're going out. Interesting to know what Ian does. Just Kuehl in the book, which I don't think is detrimental. No, it was Tomasi and Hippier that were on yellow card watch. I was late on. Mate, I said it like 2 minutes ago. I said it about 30 seconds before you typed it. As is for Ian as well. We will slow it down for the second half. Let's see what happens here. Absolutely nothing for the first 6 or 7 minutes, but Higginburn and then Sigalko lays it off. Fiore puts it wide. Great football by Burn. Approaching the hour mark, hitting the hour mark, bang on the hour mark. And, the most crucial 30 minutes of both of these side seasons. Paredes a steady player for any team single. Still no real concerns here for Coast, but they continue to run the risk. So will that be playing on Dimble's mind? They haven't really offered anything yet in the second half. I can picture Ian standing behind his chair. Yes, as can I. It's a very strong image that I've got. No changes for Dimble. What about Burn? Hippier dropping to a 5 rating. So many sixes, but there's Tomasi still dominating things in midfield. Arms crossed perfectly still. Conditionally, still nothing of real. No real concerns fitness-wise. How much does Ian chase this, or how much is he happy enough to sacrifice this one, go and play Dragons and try again? Or does he believe that this 11 will still turn it around, of course? As it stands, the Coast remain going through on away goals, as is for Ian as well. Half an hour left of this game then. There's an Alka Vogel. Henri! Fine save, corner kick to the home side. Campbell. Now Vogel. Coast have certainly woken up since the hour mark. Fine save. Another opportunity wasted from Coast. And you just feel the more this happens, Larson sends it wide. 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go. This is suiting Coast to the ground, nothing happening. 5 to go. How has 20 minutes gone by with nothing happening in such a crucial game? Free kick to the home side. Balmer, Paredes, Henri. Is there going to be late drama? Sigalko! Oh, he's got it horribly wrong. Into injury time. Rui Costa picks it up. Contra. Sigalko! And somehow Coast get away with it. A lot of late pressure from the away side. Sigalko told her, Kuehl! And they have done it in injury time. Heartbreak for Coast. We said it looked like it might happen. Cordoba gets booked. Free kick to Burn. And there's the final whistle. And in injury time, Burn equalise on the night to go through. It will be Coast versus Dragons on Saturday night, but that doesn't begin to tell the story. The whole way through that, we said that Coast will rue missed chances and Burn will get that one. It was a save from Toldo. Kuehl got the rebound, and quite both believable yet completely unbelievable. Burn have put themselves straight into the final. Coast were absolutely dominant, says Duggan. Lots of wows going on. Sickener, says Rye. Cruel that, says Ian. But congratulations to Northern Burn, who stamped their ticket straight through to Sunday stroke Tuesday's grand final, as Ian goes looking for that second star to join a very elusive club. So many yellow cards dished out as well. Only cure book for Burn. Tomasi picks up. Look at that, a 10 out of 10 performance. That is what you need on the big stage. And Northern Burn, congratulations to Ian. Commiserations to Dimble. But you get another stab at it. And fear not, pal, because there's been plenty of times where the side that loses the two-legged affair gets retribution in the final. But there we have it. We will have Coast versus Dragons on Saturday night alongside the Shield semi-finals. I'm hoping, and I'm asking that maybe there'll be someone willing to do co-coms. Who knows? But if I have to go it again for 3 games on Saturday, I will do. I hope you enjoyed a little Wednesday night, half-hour show. It was dramatic. It was tense, and it was very dramatic. We'll see you again on Saturday. Goodbye.